Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis plays a home at the West Indies Women's Championship, the Super 50 Championship. We are here at the Connery Cricket Facility here in Bastia, and we're in clash. World Cup winning players alongside me, but they're donning the colours of their national teams. Brittany Cooper, the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force Divas; Afi Fletcher, the Windward Islands Volcanoes; match referee Mr. Stuart Rollins; and umpire Shirley Evans. Britt, you have a point? Give it a toss. Tails is the ball. What's the rationale behind the decision?
Well, we realized that we played one of our games here, and we looked at the scores that the teams that played here last year, and we realized that it's a really good batting track. The first 30 minutes, 45 minutes is a really start making it, so we're going to take advantage of that and bat all the whole 50 minutes.
You have a lot of young players under your charge this year around. What's the preparation been like with them?
Part of the academy and we are coming from experience, and I'm excited to see the showcase of talent doing that they to be the rising stars of West Indies cricket.
Your own form, 2 centuries in local cricket. How do you feel coming into this tournament with your own form?
Well, you said sports, like past tense, cricket is played on the day, so I'm hoping that I can keep scoring on and to make it like the confidence.
Can't let you go with all this tournament. This is the women's tournament, the women's game right around the world and in the region. What are you looking forward to in this tournament from a perspective of the women's game in the region?
Most importantly, I'm looking for youngsters to step up and be the next generation of West Indies around the region, the heads of me and Fletcher who still playing, We want to sit back and sit down in our rocking chair and sympathy and see the youngsters, lead West Indies women to hopefully another World Cup win.
Right, Britt, go well. Afi. Afi. Afi lost the toss. Would it have made a difference to you if you won the toss after the ball first? Stalwarts of the women's game in the Caribbean, the growth of the women's game around the world. What do you expect for this tournament from that perspective, the growth of the game here in the Caribbean?
Well, looking forward to this tournament. I mean, a couple of players before, we always have new players coming in, so I think that this tournament will encourage them and build them and help them to grow. I hope that the players of the Caribbean will build from this tournament and be able to play in the West Indies and also go out there into franchise to get more players into franchise.
Well, so the news from the toss, the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force Divas have won and decided to take a bat first.
Pleasant good morning from the Connery Sporting Complex here in St. Kitts. We are about to witness the first game in the CG United West Indies Women's 50-over competition. We tell you that the TNT Red Force would have won the toss and they have decided to bat on what is a sunny and breezy morning here at Connery. I've been joined by Victor Eddy. Victor, good morning, and we expect to have good women's cricket here at Connery in this, the first game of the CG United West Indies Women's competition.
Good morning to you, Gary Pemberton, and good morning to everyone. And we are truly anticipating a very enterprising and competitive women's tournament. And we are right here at the Connery Cricket Centre. We can tell you that the atmosphere is ideal for cricket. The sun is in all its brilliance. Nice cool breeze coming across the ground. And we can see now whereby the Windward Islands, they are warming up just beyond the boundary, close to the players' pavilion. And you can see it there on the monitor. So Gary, the toss was won by Trinidad and Tobago. And they opted to bat, so a very confident move. And
So
the players are now going out into the middle.
the openers looks like Samara Ramnat, and we'll get the name of the other person for you in just a minute. Swa, so Chanel Swa and Samara Ramnat, those are the two openers for the Red Force team, and it looks like it is going to be Swa who will be taking first strike. So this is the opening encounter in the Sydney United West Indies women's competition being played here at Connery. 3 matches we played in St. Kitts. Another game is being played at Warner Park, and the other match is being played at St. Paul's. We tell you that Jamaica won the toss in that encounter, and they have decided to bat. The Leewards would have won the toss as well, but they have decided to insert the opposition. And here at Connery, play is about to start. We tell you that Swa will be facing up the first delivery, and it looks like maybe Etienne who will be bowling from the media center end. So Etienne will be opening the attack for the Windward. Yes, Pearl Etienne, the experienced campaigner for the Windward Islands, will be opening attack from this media center end, Victor.
Well, and as anticipated from some overnight showers, but the surface was well covered, so there might just be that element of moisture for the first 45 minutes, but we'll have to wait and see, just as about play would commence any moment now. Well, they have their fielders in all the various positions, and here is ball one.
So it's going to be Etienne to bowl to Swa the first delivery, and that ball will be signaled by the umpire as the ball fell out of the hand of the bowler Etienne. So Etienne is the experienced. So Etienne will be bowling to Sao. Sao is the opener for the TNT Red Force, so there's a slip. The third man is a point, the cover, extra cover, and the mid-off. So the first delivery will be ball, and another foul start. So Etienne seems not to be able to get it right in the first over, or with the first delivery. Maybe a bit of nerves, Victor, from the experience. Etienne. So she'll go in now to bowl the first delivery. And that delivery goes to outside the off stump. So this is the first game in the Sydney United West Indies women's competition. We would have seen the start of the men's for the competition, which is on a break, and now we are seeing the women's version, and we're hoping to see some good cricket in these matches that will be played here in St. Kitts. And Etienne will bowl to Sao, and if she allows it to go through, to be taken behind by the keeper. So Victor, with the women's competition coming back to St. Kitts, we expect to see better cricket than we saw last time around?
Well, I would like to believe so, and I would hope so, from the point of view that the teams would have had opportunities to review themselves as to what they did in the last tournament and try to improve in the various areas.
And we have heard the coach would have mentioned that they're looking for the batters to be more aggressive in their approach, especially in the T20 format, and they'll be looking to make use of the power play, where just 2 fielders are allowed outside the circle in the T20. But this is the 50 over version, and Etienne is in the first over, and I'm sure that the batters for TNT will be hoping to get a good partnership. The Sao and Ramnat, they're the two openers. And we're just in the first over here at Connery. Good conditions, nice and sunny and breezy.
Yeah, ideal conditions for cricket. Nice cool breeze coming across the ground here at the Connery Cricket Centre.
And a lovely shot, but knocked down at backward point that Looks like Afi Fletcher. Could be Afi Fletcher there at backward point. Yes, it is Fletcher. And she stops it well. Or Zeta James, actually. Zeta James at point. And she knocked it down. So we're still in the first over. And a delivery outside the off stump. Yeah, what did it go through? First over has been completed by Etienne. None without loss, the TNT with force.
Yes, and first over from Etienne. She did not make the battle play too often, but no doubt the first over, and would be thinking about getting a good line and length first to start with. And speaking about improvement for this year's tournament, that is the women's tournament taking place right here at Connery in St. Kitts and also St. Paul's on Warner Park. Well, we will all hope that there is various improvements in all the areas where coaches would have worked on the areas that they knew needs improvement coming into this 2024 series. So all around, generally, Gary Pemberton, if all the teams have looked at what they did in the last tournament and really work on those areas, we should really have in a more enterprising and competitive women's tournament 2024. But here, right here at the Connery Cricket Centre, we can tell you that Trinidad and Tobago won the toss and decided to bat there up against the Windward Islands.
So it looks like you're going to be Selena Ross, the left arm medium pacer, opening attack from the far end. You go into Ramnat. And a wide delivery outside the off stump. Taken behind by the wicket keeper, Anisha Fontaine. She's the wicket keeper for the Windward Islands. And the Windward Islands have some experienced players. You have Afi Fletcher, who has played for the West Indies. And Kiana Joseph is also in the middle as part of the 11. And Zeta James, a young and upcoming batter, as Ross to Ramnat, pitched up and into the offside. So this is the second over of the women's competition. You expect to see lots of women coming out to support these matches, Victor?
Well, once they are aware that cricket is being played here in St. Kitts, obviously they will get a few coming in and looking and see what they have to offer. But heavily packed offside field, so it is an obvious ploy.
So good tight line being kept by Selena Ross in the first over. Delivery just on the center leg stump. And Ramnat just pushed it down into the onside. So the outfield here at Connery looking lush green, looking good. From this vantage point, looking like a nice surface in terms of the grass, good grass coverage. And delivery right up. The bowler Ross got it up to the batsman Ramnat, who was pushing into the onside. So we have not seen a run so far in the opening game, or one of the opening matches in the City United Women's 50 over competition being played here in St. Kitts. 4 deliveries have been delivered by Ross. The first over was a maiden that was delivered by Pearl Etienne. So Selena Ross will continue to bowl to Ramnat. And she's driving down to Kiana Joseph at cover, who feels and there is no chance of a run. So the Red Force winning the toss and batting. No surprises there, Victor. Good batting strip as always here at Connery.
Yes, indeed. And I thought it was a right decision, quite appropriate. But heavy pack offside field though, so no doubt the bowler is going to be concentrating more on off stump line.
So Ross into the offside, we get at least a single. They have hustled to the first one, thinking about the second. They're going to come back for it, and they will get it quite easily in the end as the return is a bit wide. So 2 to bring up the end of the overs. At the end of 2 overs, it is 2 without loss. The TNT Red Force Divas.
Yes, and the Windward Islands, they did very good in the last tournament. We had some good all-around performances from the Windward Islands, and no doubt they will be hoping to improve upon those performances from 2023. This is now 2024, and here we are at the Connery Cricket Centre. And for those of you who might just be joining the stream, we can tell you Trinidad and Tobago won the toss here at the Connery Cricket Centre. They are up against the Windward Islands.
So it's Etienne will be bowling to Sao she's bowling from this media centre end. They have 2 fielders on the onside, a long leg, mid wicket, and a mid on. So Etienne to bowl to Sao, And she is getting the ball off the bat onto the pad. Goes down into the offside. So it's nice and breezy here at Connery. And there are batting points on offer for batting teams. If you score in excess of 200 runs, you get 1 batting point. And if you score in excess of 220, a second batting point is up for grab as Etienne. So batting points are available, but the run rate have to be scoring at in the first 200. Yeah, scoring rate at 4, and for the second batting point, you must be going at around 4.4 runs per over. And so there are batting points available, 2 batting points maximum for the teams batting, and into the onside, into the offside, down towards the wide third man area, and they will get 2 runs, a good return, but the batters will quickly through for the second run. So 2 runs to South, she's off the mark, and it is 4 without loss. The Red Force Divas, after winning the toss and batting in over number 3 here at Connery. This is the 50 over City United Women's Championship, and this match is being played at Connery, and Red Force batting and gets the delivery. It's a bit wide. She was tempted, she went after it, missed it. Taken behind by the keeper. We tell you the 2 umpires for this game, Javed Prasad and Jacqueline Williams. And Williams is presiding here at the media center end, and umpire Prasad is at square leg. So we have seen 4 deliveries in this, the 3rd over, bowled by Etienne, and getting it down to 3rd man, that's Saw, and just played it for a single, so 1 more to the total, takes it down to 5, rain over number 3, 1 delivery remaining in Pearl Etienne's 2nd over, and some 3 runs have been scored from her bowling, and Red Force will be looking to get the batting point, at least 1. I'm sure we're thinking maybe they can get 2 as well, depends on how the batters bat. So they're currently scoring at 1.76 runs per over, with 1 delivery remaining in the 3rd over here at Connery. And Sao is driving nicely, but knocked down by Kiana Joseph to bring up the end of over number 3, 5 without loss, the TNT Red Force Divas.
Yes, and these two for Trinidad and Tobago Red Force would be trying their uttermost best to compile a good opening partnership, but some very enterprising prizes also constitute in this tournament here of the Super 50 Women's Tournament. The first prize will be 20,000, that's US, and the second prize is 10,000. And then in the T-Blaze, the first prize will be US 10,000, the second prize 5,000. So the incentives are very inspiring for the teams, but more inspiring is to come out victorious in their matches. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. This is just the first match here at the Connery, while there is one at Warner Park and one at St. Paul's.
So Sao will be facing the first delivery on the onside. We signal wide, umpire Prasad. So the first wide, the first extra of the inning. So with that extra, the total has gone on to 6. And Red Force will be looking to get at least 1 batting point, Victor. The body would need to score in excess at least 200 runs.
Yeah, I like the point system that has been introduced in
wide delivery outside the off stump, taken by the keeper Fontaine, or Nisha Fontaine of the Windward Islands.
Because also to Gary, what actually can happen in matches, teams can lose outright but still get points out of the game. So that can also be value in how the championship can also go to when it concludes, but that is still far away.
So the projected score based on the scoring rate, 95, outside edge, down to 3rd man. It would go into the boundary for 4. A delivery which came from the outer portion of the bat, went through the first slip area, which is vacant. The keeper, Fontaine, diving away to her right, couldn't get to it. 4 runs to South, so she has gone on to 7, and it is 10 without loss, the Red Force.
Yes, Gary, and I thought I thought for a moment it would have been appropriate to have at least a solitary slip with this few opening overs and with the new ball, but that was not to be. And so Trinidad and Tobago earned 4 runs, going down to third man. Well, there is still not a solitary slip. There is just a short third man on the 30-yard circle.
Ross will try once more to Sao. Allowed a peel. She was taken on the pad, but it looks like probably could have come off from the bat onto the pad if you can look at it on the replay. But an appeal by Ross turned on by the umpire Prasad. And the total remains on 10 in over number 4. Shunel Sao, she's on 7. And Samara Ramnath is on 2. And Sao is facing up to Ross from the far end. She's driving, taken behind by the keeper. So we have seen the first delivery, which was a wide, and we saw a boundary but went through the vacant first slip area for 4. And so normally you would want to give your bowlers an opportunity as early as possible. Start with a slip and see how things turns out. That wasn't the case. And now we see as though there's a change in the field. Captain Apsy Fletcher is making a change. The field on the mid-wicket fence has come inside the circle. The slip has gone into place, and then the third man has gone down. So Apsy Fletcher has decided to go into the first slip, maybe too late. On the onside, we'll get at least a single, as it is Malika Edwards coming off the long leg fence and the return. So single to the total, 11 without loss in over number 4.
Well, and Afi, as a captain, Afi Joseph, Avi Fletcher, she as a captain and very experienced, I thought that she would have known, obviously, with the new ball, to have at least the solitary slip, which she has now placed herself in that position. That's Fletcher.
So Ramnath faces up to Russ, as we saw first aircraft leaving the RLB International Airport after the start of this match. Over completed 11 without loss after 4.
Yes, so quiet start for Trinidad and Tobago after winning the toss here at the Connery Cricket Centre. They're up against the Windward Islands. And the Windward Islands bowling so far has been steady. Not really penetrative, but steady enough to keep them, the two batters quiet at the moment. But a heavily packed offside field, and that is always indications to batters most likely where the bowler's line is going to be. Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
So Etienne will continue from this immediate centre end. And this is driven, knocked down at cover. So that was Sao going to the drive. And at cover, we have Jamila Glasgow. She knocked it down and prevented any possibility of a run. So the experienced Pearl Etienne, who's been around for some time, bowling to Sao. And she's easily forward, down to Kiana Joseph at extra cover. So Etienne, the most experienced player in the Windward's team, be looking to bring our experience to the fore to try and get some early wickets. And Sao is driving, misses, taken behind by the keeper. Delivery outside the off stump. Sao going into a foul shot, a bit too close for that shot, Victor.
Well, the thing is that it is obvious with the heavy pack offside field that the line, which that delivery also too was pitched just upon off stump going further across, and with the stiff breeze coming across the ground, let us see how much it will assist the bowler.
So outside the off stump, and Sao just watches it go through to be taken behind, low down by the keeper. So we're in over number 5, and Pearl Etienne has delivered some 4 deliveries. No runs have been scored so far in this over. 3 runs have come from her bowling, and easily onto the front foot. And the current run rate is 2.36. Projected score from here on in 114. So if they're going to bat the 50 overs, they were looking to get up to 200 at least to get that batting point. 1 delivery remaining in over number 5, Etienne. And he's looking to play it fine, misses, taken behind by the keeper to become the end of a maiden over from Pearl Etienne It is 11 without loss, the Red Force.
Yes, and a much better over by Pearl Etienne, keeping it a lot much more tighter. And so far, the Windward Islands bowlers have kept things relatively quiet. 11 runs on the board, 5 overs have been bowled. So these two for Trinidad and Tobago after winning the toss would be, as they just had a mid-pitch exchange of words, no doubt thinking about consolidating and putting a good opening partnership here for their team.
So Ross will continue from that far end, and she'll be bowling to Ramnath. So Ramnath is on 2. She has faced some 8 deliveries. And Ross will continue. Full delivery, slash into the offside, knocked down by Jamila Glasgow, moving away towards her left at cover point and prevented what certainly could have been at least 2 runs if it had gone past her. So good bit of fielding by Jamila Glasgow at the cover point area. So Ross will continue from the far end and she'll be bowling to Samara Ramnath. Full delivery into the offside, this time between the 2 fielders, cover point and a backward point down towards the boundary for 4. Full delivery, and this time Ramnath got it between the 2 fielders and down towards the boundary for a good 4.
Yes, and the placing was very good, the timing was perfect, and she earned herself 4 more runs. So another boundary there to Trinidad and Tobago. So these two are obviously consolidating after winning the toss, Trinidad and Tobago, to put a good opening partnership for their team and earning themselves a good boundary by execution through point and cover for 4.
15 without loss in over number 6. Ross will try once more and pushed into the offside. We get a single as the tumbling Akiana Joseph couldn't stop it. Fielding completed by Jamila Glasgow down at deep. She ran from cover point down towards the deep cover area. 1 more to the total. It has gone on to 16 without loss in over number 6. And Chanel Sau will be facing up to Ross from the far end. We saw a chance that went through the slips, which was vacant. It has now been plugged. Maybe that is a bit too late. Over the wicket, a full delivery. No ball has been signaled by umpire William the square leg. Delivery above the waist. And so an extra. So with that extra, the total has gone on to...
And four buys.
And actually went for 4 buys as well. So 5 runs will be added to the total. So it will go on to 21. And the signal of 1 above the waist. So another delivery above the waist, Victor. She could be taken out of the attack.
Well, and a free hit now. So let us see if Trinidad and Tobago will make use of this free hit.
So it's Ross will continue from that far end. Driving down the ground. And then straight down to the fielder at mid-on. So no extra run from that shot. 21 without loss, the Red Force Divas. After winning the toss and batting, the projected score based on the current run rate 186. And that will not give them a batting point. They will want to score at faster than that. 4 runs per over will get them the batting point. Taking on the pad, allow the peel. And the batsman Sau indicating that the ball have come from the baton to the pad. We just look at it on the monitor. Yeah,
Yes,
big edge onto the pad. And they were peeling. 21 without loss. We're in over number 6. 1 delivery remaining. I've seen some 10 runs coming so far in this over. Compliments of a no ball which went for 4. Over the wicket. Into the offside. Good bit of fielding by Kiana Joseph. Moving away to her right to bring up the end of over number 6. 21. It is without loss.
Well, in the end, she completed a very economical over there. There was a free hit, and to which they did not score any runs off of. But I find, though, that cricket for too long, I find that a lot of the rules have been in place so long, and most of the times, because it is a batsman game, whereby from a free hit, it's only one way that a batter can be out, and it's by the run-out route. So you can take so many chances.
So Etienne will continue from the media center end. 21 without loss at the start of over number 7, as Etienne be bowling to Ramnat into the offside, no chance of a run. And yes, there are so many changes that have been made to this game of cricket. They try to make it more exciting, and as you indicated, it's a batsman game.
It is.
And
Batter.
Etienne over the wicket. We're talking about cricket in general, batsman game, but he's speaking specifically to what is happening here. The ladies format, the West Indies women's competition being played here at Connery, and Etienne will be going into bowl to Ramnath. She pushed it down to the offside, no chance of a run. So if a pitch is playing good and the team makes 250, 300 runs, we say the good batting strip. But once the bowlers get wickets and the team is dismissed for 75, we start to have all sort of criticism about the pitch, Victor.
Well, the thing is that a lot of times we can be guilty at times not giving the bowlers the credit they deserve.
Into the offside, down towards back with a point. She will pull it back. That's Jamila Joseph inside the boundary, and they have course for just 2 runs. So 2 runs from a delivery which was played between cover point and backward point, and they were able to get 2 runs. So 2 more to Ramnath. She has gone on to 9, 23 without loss. A good shot.
Yeah, and these two are going steady. They're not taking any unduress. These two batters are not taking any unduress. So they are doing the ideal thing so far. Good shot selection, and let us wait and see what would happen.
They've taken on the full and gets it down to Afi Fletcher, or that's Zeta James at point. She feels, and there is no run. So we have Narissa Crafton. She's right in front of us here at mid-off at extra cover. Akiana Joseph, Jamila Glasgow at cover. Point is Zeta James. Full delivery on the onside. Wide should be signaled. Has been signaled by umpire Williams. So another extra to the total. Takes it on to, the total moves on to 24. Weighing over number 7. Just 1 delivery remaining. And some 6 runs have been scored off the bowling of Etienne. 3.5 overs and none for 6. As Ramnath is pushing a little bit back down the strip to bring up the end of over number 7. 24 without loss, the Red Force Divas.
Yes, and in 50 overs contest, which this tournament is all about, whereby 50 overs will be bowled by each team once there is no reason for any weather interruptions or anything that will halt play. But at the same time, it's a lot of 300 legal deliveries must be bowled, but at times, ever so often, they goes beyond the 300 required legal deliveries, because when the wides and the no balls come into the equation, it goes beyond. Well, there's going to be a bowling change from that far end.
So it's going to be Jamila Glasgow, the right medium pacer from the far end. She has replaced Ross. Ross in the last over would have delivered a full delivery above the waist, signal no ball. So maybe that is one of the reasons why she was pulled out of the attack. Or maybe that was part of the plan for her to bowl 3 overs and then be replaced by Jamila Glasgow, who will be coming in from the far end. So for Glasgow, we have the slip that is in place. Afi Fletcher just making some adjustment, asking the fielder to move to her left. It's quite breezy at Connery. Fletcher is losing her cap at first slip, as it will be the new bowler Jamila Glasgow will replace Ross from the far end. And delivery outside the off stump, where Sao just watches it go through to be taken behind by the keeper. And Jamila replacing Ross, maybe because of the full pitch delivery she bowled in the previous over, or that was part of the plan, Victor?
Well, it could be more part of the plan, and really Trinidad and Tobago, though, I like the way that they have started. The two batters have not taken any undue risk, and when the loose deliveries come their way, they execute them, and they're running the ones and the twos nicely. So this partnership is going good for Trinidad and Tobago after winning the toss here.
So Glasgow will bowl to Sau, full delivery into the onside. Will get at least two. Somebody is going close to the boundary. As a matter of fact, it will be pulled back just inside. They're thinking about the third. That's Sau, but she was held up by Ramnat, who was not interested in going for the third run. So 2 runs from that full delivery into the onside, and with those 2 runs, total has gone on to 26 in over number 8, scoring at 3.55 runs per over. So Sau, with those 2 runs, she has gone on to 10. She has faced some 28 balls, and the Glasgow is in a first over from the far end. She bowled to Sau, a delivery, she's in behind it. So we have seen another fielder being placed in the slips area, maybe a third slip or gully, if you maybe more of a third slip position. So there's a gap between the first and the fielder who looks like at a third slip. That's Kiana Joseph, and then Zeta James at a point, and Jamila Glasgow will come in from the far end. We're in over number 8, bowl to wide delivery outside the off stump. Sau just watches it go through, taken behind by the keeper, scoring at 3.4 runs per over. And the projected score from here on, Victor, only 170. That would not get you a batting point.
Well, they would not gain that batting point, but also too, sometimes I'm a little confused though with what would be more considered a first and a third slip, and then there's a gap where a second slip should have been. But anyway, the captain, they will have their ideas.
So Glasgow will bowl to Sau, taking on the paddle out appeal, and they will go through for what should be a leg by. Wait for the signal by umpire Prasad. Leg by signal coming, so 1 more to the total. It has gone on to 27 in over number 8. Just 2 deliveries remaining in the first over, being bowled by Jamila Glasgow from the far end. So partnership 27 from some 48 balls. And
well, and it is 50 overs game, so these two are doing the ideal thing, not just staying out there and blocking, but looking the ones and the twos and making use of the boundaries.
As Ramnat coming onto the front foot, and the over has been completed. 27 without loss after 8.
Yeah, and these two openers for Trinidad and Tobago, they are doing well after Trinidad and Tobago won the toss here at the Connery Cricket Centre. They're up against the Windward Islands. It's the women's tournament 2024 right here at the Connery Cricket Centre. Other matches have been played at the St. Paul's Recreation Ground in St. Kitts and at Warner Park International Cricket Stadium, and right here at the Connery Cricket Centre, where we have the Windward Islands up against Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago won the toss this morning, and they are now 27 without loss. There is big conversation here at this northern end. It looks like there's going to be a bowling change.
Akiana Joseph will be brought into the attack, and she'll be bowling from the media center end. If I could recall, last time around she would have picked up 5 wickets in an innings, in all the innings here at Connery. I'm sure she will have that in the back of her mind. So
Well, and any bowler getting a 5-wicket haul, no doubt, she will be very confident coming into this 2024 series. She had a very productive series in 2023, and here is she with ball in hand, and she's just about ready now.
she bowled to the batter. She pushed it down to the offside. There's no chance of a run. So Sau is facing up to Kiana Joseph, who is bowling a first over from the media center end. It's 27 without loss. Red Force Divas after winning the toss and batting. And I'm sure Kiana Joseph will be looking to keep things tight, and not only to keep things tight, but to pick up some wickets.
Yes, indeed, and she was the leading wicket taker for the Windward Islands in the last tournament, and here is she again trying to
She's bowling around the wicket, coming onto the front foot, a bit of bounce from that delivery. But she kept it down, pushed it down into the offside for Jamila Glasgow at that cover. Our extra cover fields, no chance of a run. So first sign of spinner flight, the delivery in the air, caught at backward point. Brilliant catch by Zeta James. The ball floated up outside the off stump. And there was Sao going to the drive, outer portion of the bat in the air. And Zeta James taking a good catch, moving away to her left at backward point.
Yeah, a very good catch indeed, moving to her left, and it was low to the ground too, moving to her left. So straight away, the Windward Islands getting and breaking the partnership, the opening partnership that is, for Trinidad and Tobago after the wonder toss here at the Connery Cricket Centre, losing their first wicket. So Joseph coming into the attack and getting success for her team, the Windward Islands, and she continues to where she left off last season, Gary Pemberton. Good left arm orthodox spinner, and from ball one, she was right on a good length and really gaining success in her first over, which is not completed as yet. So she still have probably 1 or 2 deliveries to go. But at the same time, though, a wicket going down for Trinidad and Tobago, the first wicket going down, total 27 for 1.
So the new batter is Dejanabi Joseph, the number 3 batter for the TNT Red Force. So she has replaced Sao, who was just out caught by Zeta James at backward point, and Kiana Joseph doing what the captain wanted her to do, that is to break the partnership. And she would have gotten a wicket with the 4th delivery of her first over. And she now will be bowling to the new batsman. So it will be Joseph to Joseph, Kiana Joseph to Dejanabi Joseph.
Yeah.
So there's a slip. She's making some adjustment to feel at backward point. Zeta James just moving that to her left. We have Jamila Glasgow at cover. At mid-off, we have Narisa Crafton. Then we have a square leg. There's a mid-wicket and a mid-on. So Kiana Joseph will bowl her first delivery to Dejanabi Joseph, wide with signal. As a ball flat, fast delivery on the onside, not well lined by Joseph. Not a good delivery for the first delivery up to the new batter. So Extra moves on by 1, 28. And delivery outside the off stump, taken by the keeper. The bails came off. The projector score 156. As Joseph will go around the wicket to Dejanabi Joseph, and he's pushing it down into the offside to bring up the end of a good over, an over in which he got the wicket of Sao, caught by James for 10, 28 for 1 after 9.
Yes, and good opening spell there by Joseph, and for the Windward Islands getting their first wicket. And Joseph really hitting a good line and length. Apart from the wide delivery, though, the over was productive. She got the wicket. She got the first wicket actually to go down for Trinidad and Tobago. So she has struck a good line and length, and that no doubt will give her even more confidence coming into her second over.
So Ramnath, who will be facing up to Jamila Joseph. Ramnath is on 9. She has faced some 18 balls, and she'll be facing up to Joseph from that far end. Right up between the keeper and first slip, down towards the boundary for 4 ball, pitched up, and it came from the outer portion of the bat, went just to the right of the keeper and to the left of Zeta James that's Appy Fletcher at first slip and into the boundary for 4.
Yeah, and really the keeper probably might have been a little guilty by not really doing some good footworks there by moving across to her right, and anyway it evaded both the keeper and first slip, and 4 more runs to the total, advances it now on to 32.
Glasgow will try once more from the far end. I thought that the captain Fletcher at first slip maybe is a bit too wide. She probably need to move a bit to her left.
Yes, I would agree with that there, Gary. She can come a little more closer, or just one step to her left. There now, she probably is slightly in between a first and almost a second slip. But anyway, being out in the middle, they will have their ideas in terms of their position, and she as the captain.
So Glasgow will try once more wide outside the off stump. She played at it, missed it. Wide has been signaled by umpire per side at the far end. So another extra to the total. So the total has gone on to 33 for 1 in over number 10. So they're scoring at 3.54 runs per over. Projected score is 177.
And 50 overs, sometimes it goes beyond really 50 overs with the wides and the no balls. Sometimes you could go to 320 deliveries.
Glasgow. And Ramnat is in behind it, down to Zeta James at backward point. She feels. And there is no chance of a run. So the Red Force will want to get a good partnership. They don't want to consolidate.
So similar, Gary Pemberton, in terms of, we speak a lot about batters going on and getting scores. Would this be the same application that these batters should make if they do get starts?
Guiding it into the offside, knocked down by Zeta James. And the fielder coming off the boundary. It looks like that's Ross. So one more to the total. Takes it on to 34. So as a batter, once you get a start, you'd want to bat and bat as long as possible and make as many runs as possible.
Because in these recent times in West Indies cricket, but more so in the men area and so forth, but it goes to the women too, that batters would get starts and would not carry on. But it is good to see when batters get starts and carry on.
Glasgow, outside the off stump. Jinabi Joseph just allows the go through to be taken behind by the keeper Fontaine. So Fontaine is the keeper for the Windward Islands. And Jinabi Joseph, she has faced some 3 deliveries. Samara Ramnat, she's on 14 from 22. 1 delivery remaining in over number 10. As Glasgow to bowl to Joseph. And the over is completed as the ball is pushed down into the offside. Over number 10 completed, 34 for 1, the TNT Red Force Divas.
Well, and these two now would, obviously after losing that wicket Trinidad and Tobago, these two having a mid-pitch conference now would be no doubt thinking about compiling the partnership together and extending into a good total. What they will think is a good total, but this lady with the ball in hand, who is Joseph, has been very successful so far, getting the only wicket that has gone down for Trinidad and Tobago. And what was very fundamental about it, the first power play, and she is going to continue left-arm orthodox spinner. And Gary, she has struck a good line and length immediately.
So we continue around the wicket. This time she bowled to Ramnat. So there's a slip, there's a point, a cover on the boundary, extra cover and a mid-off. And on the onside we have the backward square mid-wicket and the mid-on around the wicket. And the batter Ramnat getting a delivery spinning across her. She has in behind it, pushed it down to the offside. And there is no chance of a run. So Joseph has been doing well for the Windwards. Flighted delivery onto the back foot, looking to slap it square of the wicket, missed it. Taken behind by the keeper. And there is no run. So Joseph is in a second over. Bowling to Ramnat. Full delivery. Gets it down to mid-on. As a matter of fact, through the legs of the fielder at mid-on. And they will get 2 runs with it because there was a casual approach after that misfield by the fielder at mid-on. And they were looking to capitalize on it, but they just got the single. Not good fielding by Karina Noel at mid-on. Went straight to his legs, Victor.
Straight to her legs, yeah. We are awkward bit of feeling there, and Joseph still asking her to come a little straighter at mid-on to see what she will do on this occasion.
Flighted, and Ramnat is not going to be interested. As Joseph, she watched it spin through to be taken behind by the keeper, so she was given a tease outside the off stump, and Joseph allowed it to go through. So this time, Kiana Joseph will go over the wicket Driving, misses, taken behind, but the keeper over completed 11 overs, 35 for 1, the TNT Red Force Divas.
Yes, and good turn and bunks. Joseph, the left arm orthodox spinner, is getting here right from the media center end where she's operating. But that has completed her over. But obviously she's getting some very good bunks and turn. So no doubt it's going to pose some challenges for both batters out in the middle. And Joseph, like we've been saying, has been the most successful bowler for the Windward Islands in the last tournament, and also have gotten off to a good start in 2024 right here at the Connery Cricket Centre in St Kitts, and the nice cool breeze coming across the ground. It's more or less of open sort of venue in that sense.
Glasgow will continue from the outer portion of the bat. That's Ramnat driving, goes down to third man. And Ross is on the boundary, one more to the total. It has gone on to 36, and Ramnat has gone on to 16 with that single. She has faced some 27 balls. So Joseph will be continuing from that far end. This time she bowled, that's Glasgow bowling to Joseph. She's pushing it down to the back of the point where Zayda James moves across to her right fields, and there is no chance of a run. So in over number 12, the Red Force Divas winning the toss and batting, and they're 36 for 1. The batter out. She was caught by James off Joseph for 10. She went on the scores on 27. And Glasgow, who replaces Ross from the far end, is bowling to Joseph. Played it down to third man. Hassan wanting to do a cross to her right. Single to Joseph. So with that single, Joseph is finally off the mark. She's on 1 after facing some 8 deliveries. 37 for 1 as Ramnat has come back into strike.
Well, and that is the difference too in the 50 over contest really. One run off of 7 deliveries, but the important thing is that there is still a lot of remaining legal deliveries in this innings. And here the action continues at the Connery Cricket Centre.
And Ramnat is in behind a delivery down into the offside. And Malika Edwards on the long leg fence, giving some encouragement to Jamila Glasgow. So it's still nice and breezy here at the Connery Sporting Complex. And Glasgow will continue from that far end. Bowling to Ramnat in the air. Drop at cover point. Straight into the hands of the fielder at cover point. And she puts it down. That's Maya Marcelin look like at cover point. Victor straight in and out.
Oh yes, and really putting down what some would consider a dolly catch straight to her. Didn't have to move left or right, and ideal height to just about above the waist height or so, and really should have held on to it. And that, let us see how costly that drop catch might be for the Windward Islands. We'll just have to wait and see if this would be something that would go against them.
So Glasgow will continue. Delivery, good delivery. The batsman was squared up somewhat, beaten, taken behind with the keeper. So a good delivery to bring up the end of over number 12. And the Red Force, they are 37 for 1.
Well, a good over by Glasgow again. She continues to bowl well, and the two batters now will have to do some revival in terms of a partnership for Trinidad and Tobago. 37 it is for 1. Well, Joseph, it looks like, is going to be removed out of the attack. So there's going to be a change of bowling from the media centre end here at the Connery Cricket Centre. We greet you with the news. It's the Women's Tournament 2024 right here in St Kitts. 50 over contest. It's being played here at the Connery Cricket Centre. Trinidad and Tobago versus the Windward Islands. There's also an encounter at the St Paul's Recreation Ground and one at the Warner Park International Cricket Stadium.
So Noel, that's Karina Noel, has replaced Kiana Joseph from the media center end, and she'll be bowling to Janabi Joseph, who is on the 1, and Samara Ramnach is on 16. So Karina Noel bowling from the media center end. So we have seen 3 bowling changes. 3 bowlers have been used from the media center end so far. In over number 13, Etienne would have opened the attack from the media center end. She bowled 4 overs. She was replaced by Kiana Joseph, and now Joseph has been replaced by Karina Noel, who is in her first over, bowling to Janabi Joseph. Driving goes down to cover. And
Good tight bowling so far here from the media center end, finding a good line and length, and really the fielders supporting the bowlers also too, which is very, very encouraging for bowlers.
so Noel will try once more to bowl to Janabi Joseph, thinking about the single, but Zeta James and Glasgow was coming in quickly and prevented any possibility of a run. She was just looking to drop in front of her and looked up at her partner for the single, but the 2 fielders coming in quickly, that's James and Glasgow, prevented any possibility of a run. 37 for 1 in over number 13. Projected score 148. Noel in her first over. Into the onside, goes down to mid-wicket. And then there is no chance of a run. So the fielder at mid-wicket is Malika Edwards. And at mid-off, or mid-on, is Etienne as Noel over the wicket. Onto the back foot, into the offside, goes bouncing down to the cover area, fielding completed by Jamila Glasgow. So 1 delivery remaining in over number 13. 37 for 1. They were at forced divers after winning the toss and batting here at the Connery Sporting Complex. Nice and breezy, sunny conditions here at Connery. And looking to turn it into the onside, gets it down to short fine leg to keep a chase. Then had a shy the stumps, but the batters are through for a run. So no signal coming from the umpire to bring up the end of over number 13. So 38 for 1 after 13.
Yes, and at St. Paul's Recreation Ground, where Guyana is up against the Leeward Islands, Guyana batting, they are now 39 runs on the board. 3 wickets have fallen for them after 9 overs. That's versus the Leeward Islands. And at Warner Park, Jamaica are 34 for the loss of 2 wickets after 11 overs, and they are up against Barbados. So those are the other matches taking place right here in St. Kitts of this 2024 Women's 50 overs regional series. So from the other grounds, the St. Paul's Recreation Ground and Warner Park.
So back here at Connery, and Glasgow will continue from the far end. Just saw a shot of the Red Force dressing room, the Red Force camp. They look quite comfortable as Glasgow comes up from the far end, and Janabi Joseph just pushed it down to Kiana Joseph. She feels, and there's the chance of a run. So the Red Force winning the toss and batting here at Connery. What has always been a good batting strip, good conditions for cricket, sunny,
Ideal.
breezy.
Well, and with this openness of the ground too, that this, especially coming from the eastern side of the ground, where it is not heavily packed, where there is a soccer field just to the eastern side of the ground here at Connery. So it's a pleasant atmosphere for the cricketers out there.
Dropped by the bowler, played back at her. She probably taking evasive action. The ball came off her hand because heading towards her face. It went in the air. She was looking to get the rebound, but it went behind her. And another chance going down, difficult chance as the ball coming back at you quickly. She stuck her hands up and just couldn't hold on to the catch.
Well, it more looked like a reflex action there because, as you quite rightly said there, Gary Pemberton, it was struck firmly and she was a few strides down the turf also too, so she was closer to the batter and she was good in getting her hands up.
This time it's played to the onside. We get a single, not feel it cleanly. And thinking about the second. So they'll be pushed into the onside after that job catch. Pushed back in the air to the bowler. Was probably taking evasive action. Probably just got the finger to it and probably came off her body and then went in the air behind her. She couldn't take the rebound. So with that single, after that job catch, the total has gone on to 39.
Well, she has done some good to herself, I thought, on that occasion because it was struck firmly, so it was a difficult chance.
Jamila will try once more, right up. And Joseph is driving, that's Ramnat. The fielding completed by the fielder moving across to her left at mid-off. As Akina Joseph made a tumbling effort, but he went behind her. And the fielding completed.
Well, these two have a job on hand to do. That is the two batters at the crease for Trinidad and Tobago. They will have to get a good partnership for their team.
Ramnat faces up to Glasgow. Full delivery this time. We get a single at least. Pushed into the offside. And down to the deep cover area. So one more to the total. It has gone on to 40. So we've seen some 2 runs being scored so far in this over from Jamila Glasgow. 3.5 overs, none for 12. And the partnership is just 13 from some 31 deliveries. Scoring at 2.89 runs per over. So Jinabi Joseph will be facing up to Jamila Glasgow. Joseph is on 3. Into the offside, through the back of the point area, down towards the boundary for 4. Good shot. There was Zeta James diving away to her right at backward point. Couldn't stop it, went through her, down towards the boundary for 4. So with that shot, the total has gone on to 44. Excellent shot to bring up the end of the over.
Yeah, and even though there was a third man, it was so sweetly timed and placed that the third man was not quick enough to get across to cut off that boundary. So another valuable boundary to Trinidad and Tobago Red Force after winning the toss here at the Connery Cricket Centre up against the Windward Islands, and 44 for the loss of 1 wicket. So these two now would realize that the pitch is playing well, so once their shot selection is on and they can take the 1s and the 2s when necessary, that can compile a good partnership. But on the other hand, if the Windward Islands should get these 2 out now, it also will bring 2 new batters to the crease, which they will have to start their innings. But at the moment, these 2 are going along quite nicely. And from a Trinidad and Tobago point of view, they will hope that they can continue.
So some 14 overs have been completed. We're coming up just a couple of minutes to go before the first hour. So the Windwards would be able to complete 15 overs in the first hour's play. And so it's Ramnat, faces up to Noel. Full delivery drive in into the offside. It's coming down towards the deep cover area. The fielder down on the cover boundary. Comes across quickly. That's Jamila Glasgow. Picks it up well and sends a good return. A return to the ball on the bounce. So 2 more to the total. But good fielding by Jamila Glasgow running away to her right. Down at deep cover. 2 more to the total. It has gone on to 46 for 1 at the start of over number 15.
Yes, good athletic skills there showed by Glasgow. The deep extra cover boundary, moving quite quickly to her right.
So Noel will try once more. And Ramnat is driving. So Ramnat now seems to be picking up the pace of the pitch. And she's looking better. She's looking more free. And the last shot that she is looking good. And she is on a 19. As Noel goes over the wicket. And she's behind it. Just Ramnat pushed it down into the offside. So they're presently scoring at 3.17 runs per over. Over number 15. Projected score is only 159. Sure the 3 at 4, so we want to get it up to the 200 mark. And Windwards on the other hand would want to prevent that. Noel to ram that drive in again. We get a single. This time to Glasgow. Just had to move a few paces to a right. One more to the total. Takes it on to 47 for 1 wicket with 2 deliveries remaining in over number 15. It is Noel who is bowling from this media center end. She's in the second over. None for 4. And standing up straight. That's Jinabi Joseph. Plays it down to Crafton at mid-off who fields. And total remains on 47 with 1 delivery remaining in over number 15. So Noel to Ramnath. Down to Malika Edwards at mid-wicket fields. Bring up the end of the over. 48 or 47 for 1 after 15 as a signal for the water cat. No signal has been changed, so they're asked to hold on a bit. And so 15 overs have been completed, 47 for 1.
Yes, and I would say that the morning's play so far has been equally balanced in my view, whereby not off to a flying start Trinidad and Tobago, but only losing the 1 wicket. And in the 15 overs, I would say that the Windward Islands, they have done relatively well in the circumstances. But at the moment, though, we're going to see a bowling change. It looks like the captain herself, Afi Fletcher, is going to come on from the far end. So quite an interesting move by Afi Fletcher to introduce herself into the attack from the southern end.
Well, she's an experienced player and she'll be looking to pick up some wickets. Afi Fletcher, and she's the right arm leg spin. So the leg spin, as you know, Victor, takes some time to hit a good length.
That's right.
And the captain Fletcher has decided to come into the attack from the far end, replacing Jamila Glasgow. Ramnath to open the batting for the Red Force. She's there on 20. She has faced some 36 balls. Jinabi Joseph is on 7. So Fletcher will be bowling to Ramnath. And Fletcher will be looking to hit a good line and length immediately. A good delivery first up. And she can hit a good spot. He could create some bother for the Red Force batters. You have Kiana Joseph, she's at slip. There's a cover on the boundary. There's a mid-wicket or forward skew on the fence as well. And a delivery spinning across Ramnath into the offside. So 2 deliveries basically spot on by the captain Fletcher, bowling from the far end. Win over number 16. So Fletcher bowling to Ramnath. Coming forward again, out of portion of the bat, goes too quickly for the single. Went to Zeta James, so maybe took her eyes off the ball as she was looking to pick it up quickly. But we've gotten the single nonetheless. So 1 more to the total. It is 48 for 1 in over number 16. 3.10 is the current run rate. And Joseph, who is on 7, comes in to strike. Flat faster delivery, spinning around outside the off stump, taken by Fontaine. So we're in over number 16. 4 deliveries have been delivered by the captain Afi Fletcher. Just making some adjustments, asking Ross to move to her right at square leg. Joseph is correctly forward, just pushed it down in front of her. The keeper comes from behind the stumps. So the Red Force winning the toss and batting here at Connery. Sir caught James bowl Joseph for 10. She faced 34 balls. He went with the scores on 27. Fletcher played into the onside to bring up the end of the good over. End of a good over there from Fletcher first up. Just 1 run coming from it. 48 for 1 at the first drinks break.
Yes, and Fletcher, really the captain, did the ideal thing, come into the attack, because any form of a wrist spinner, and she's the right arm leg breaking googly bowler back of the hand, and really The refreshment cart is now on the field, so we will
take a short break and be right back in a few minutes. So welcome back after that first water break. 16 overs are completed, 48 for 1. The Red Force Divas. So Noel will continue from the media center end, and she'll be bowling to Ramnath. Ramnath is on 21 from 39. Jinaba Joseph is on 7 from 23. So Noel will continue from the media center end. 48 for 1. As Noel will go into bowl to Ramnath. She's easily pushing it down to Crafton at mid-off, and she feels no chance of a run. So the Red Force would have won the toss and decided to bat here at Connery. They would have lost Chanel Sow, caught James Bowl Joseph for 10. That's Noel on to the leg stump. Wide should be signaled by umpire Williams. So another extra to the total. With that extra, the total has gone on to 49. A wide delivery by Noel. So she will come back to the top of his mark at this, the media center end. Bowling to Ramnot. Down the ship in the air, between backward, well, down pass, backward point. Zeta James is giving chase. Also the fielder coming across to her left from third man. That looks like Ross. So 2 more to the total. 2 more to Ramnat to bring up the 50 for the Red Force. 51 for 1 in over number 17. And the score in at 3.12 runs per over. Projected score 156. But I'm sure they want to get a lot more than 156. Noel and Ramnat is playing it back down the strip. Probably looking to give the ball the charge. Came from the inner portion of the bat. And it was fielded by the bowler Noel. She's in a third over, none for 7. So it's Ramnat on 23. Looking for a single into the offside, and she will get it as the return comes down towards the bowler end. Zeta James fielding but couldn't stop the run. Not a single to the total. 52 for 1. We have 2 deliveries remaining in over number 17. So it's Noel bowling from this the media center end. The Red Force winning the toss and batting. And Joseph is punching it down to Kiana Joseph. That's Jinaba Joseph playing it down to Kiana Joseph at extra cover. No chance of a run. So the Red Force won the toss and decided to bat here at Connery. Noel to bowl to Joseph. Right up is drive in. And the fielding is completed by Etienne coming in from mid-off to bring up the end of over number 17. 52 for 1. The Red Force batting first.
Well, and after winning the toss, Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, they are consolidating quite nicely. These two are coming together and recognizing that how important it is for them to compile a partnership. But on the other hand, the Windward Islands, they will be looking to break the partnership and make further inroads into the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force batting lineup. But there are other matches playing around St. Kitts at the St. Paul's Recreation Ground and also at Warner Park. And no doubt those other 2 matches, just like this one too, is going to be very competitive and enterprising Gary Pemberton. But we can see the umpire just doing some gardening to one of the batter's pads, so you're not missing any play at the moment. But obviously it would be a difference at St. Paul's and Warner Park. More recently updated scores we will give our listeners as the day's play goes on here at the Connery Cricket Centre. All seems to be in place now, and Afi Fletcher, the captain, she's going to continue from the far end, right arm, leg break and googly bowler. And
so Fletcher will continue. She's bowling to Ramnot. Floated up delivery. Pushed down into the offside. So Fletcher in her first over, just the 1 run coming from it. Red Force 52 for 1. So Fletcher is bowling a second over from the far end. Outside the off stump, spinning away, taken by the keeper Fontaine. And Fletcher will want to continue to keep things tight. Ramnat has looked good. She's on 24 from 45. And Jinaba Joseph, she's a non-striker on 7. Flighted up and driven back down the strip. Fletcher looking to flick it back onto the stumps. Fielding completed in the offside. So Fletcher will try once more from the far end. Ball to Ramnard. Flatter faster delivery onto the back foot. No chance of a run. So Fletcher keeping things tight. And this the 18th over. They're scoring at 2.94 runs per over. That's the Red Force after winning the toss and batting. That's Fletcher over the wicket. And he's coming from the outer portion of the bat down towards third man. It will go into the boundary for 4. Outer edge foul went between the keeper and the slip down towards the boundary for 4. You look at it on the monitor. Probably came off the glove of the keeper as well and down towards the boundary for 4 runs to the Red Force team.
Yeah, and looking at it at the monitor, I still believe that the slip is too wide, though, as a solitary first slip. Should have been a little closer to the keeper, and then she would have more stood a chance of pulling in a catch. That is Joseph, who is going back into the first slip position. But Afi Fletcher, the captain for the Windward Islands, she has struck a good line and length so far, and good control of her leg break and googlies, which is one of the more difficult that spinners have in this game of cricket.
So she will continue from the far end. Goes down to Zeta James. Move quickly around to bring up the end of over number 18. 56 for 1, the Red Force.
Yes, Gary, and even when the seam bowlers were on for the Windward Islands, for some reason or the other, they had the slip not in a solitary slip position, which is usually an arm's length away from the keeper, and then also when the third slip, and then second slip would have been vacant, but now they have gone back to the left arm orthodox spinner in Joseph. She's going to continue from the media center end here at the Connery Cricket Center. But how well she did bowl too before the refreshment cart, or in her spells that she have had so far. And Afi Fletcher, the captain, has been doing well at the other end. So this is going to be a good or interesting combination now into the attack.
So Kiana Joseph has been brought back into the attack. She has replaced Noel, who bowled from this the media center end. So for Jinaba Joseph, there's a slip, there's a point, cover and the mid-off. And she drive in, we get a single as there's a fielder down on the cover fence. That's Jamila Glasgow, 1 more to the total. Takes it on to 57 for 1 at the start of over number 18. So the partnership is 50 from some 57 balls.
Well, very good 50 partnership, but I would still like to see the batters putting pressure on the outfielders when the ball is struck into the deep areas. That might improve as the game goes along today and onwards, but she's now coming off the deep extra cover boundary, so applying more pressure on the batters to probably invite them to try and beat the inner ring.
So that's Kiana Joseph will go over the wicket. And Ramnath has pushed it back down the strip on the onside. 57 for 1 wicket. The Red Force Divas, after winning the toss and batting here at Connery. Flatter, faster delivery. And defended by Ramnath down into the offside. Joseph. That's Jamila Glasgow at cover fields. No chance of a run. Good sunshine here at Connery. Another this time a flighted delivery, and Ramnath is not going to be tempted. Just pushed it back down the strip on the offside for the ball to skip across to her left to pick up and prevent any possibility of a run. Projected score 154 down the strip and drive in, not taken by the fielder, and a chance of a run out, and she's out, run out. So there was Ramnath playing it in the air. The catch was dropped by the fielder at extra cover. And then Glasgow recovered quickly and sent it down to the keeper. And Ramnath has been run out for 28. And it is 57 for 2, the Red Force.
Yes, unfortunately there. But I think if Joseph was going straight through and then Ramnath would have been coming to the other end, but probably they was slightly ball watching to see if the catch was taken. And then both of them were left in the middle, and the fielder composed herself nicely and showed it to the keeper. So an unfortunate way for Ramnath to go. She was looking just set and going to set a good score for herself and place her team Trinidad and Tobago in a good position. But unfortunately, or first of all, fortunately for her, she was dropped, but unfortunately was caught in the middle and was run out. So the second wicket going down for Trinidad and Tobago. So just when getting over the 50 partnership, that has been broken. And really, the Windward Islands having a new batter to bowl at now.
So Pascal, the new batter for the Red Force, Shanice Pascal, as Joseph gets a good delivery to Pascal down to the offside. So we saw the chance going down was dropped by Noel, and the fielding was completed by Glasgow, had it to the keeper. So the over is completed. At the end of it, the Red Force losing a second wicket, 57 for 2 after 19.
Yes, and if the Windward Islands can be consistent in their field, in their fielding and improve in certain areas, there have been one or two mishaps in the field, but those fielders always inside that 30-yard circle. Once they can keep pressure on the batters, then they will be asking the batters to try other things in their method to get runs. But there's going to be another bowling change from that far end here at the Connery Cricket Centre. It's Trinidad and Tobago up against the Windward Islands.
So play will continue. Over number 20 is about to start. And so there's a slip, there's a backward point, a cover on the boundary. Onto the back foot, just what is pinned through to be taken behind by the keeper. So that's Zeta James, it looked like is the new bowler from the far end. So Zeta James, left arm around the wicket, short delivery. Just didn't get hold of it, she gets it down to mid-on. And there is no chance of a run. So 57 for 2 wickets at the start of over number 2. Change of bowling at the far end. Fletcher has replaced herself with Zeta James bowling from the far end. She'll be bowling to Jinaba Joseph onto the back foot, slapping into the offside, and goes down towards the far end. That's the return, but not before the batters cross for a single. So one more to Joseph. She has gone on to 9. It's 58 for 2 as Pascal, Shanice Pascal, comes into strike. Zeta James is in the first over. She's beaten outside off from loud appeal, and umpire is on move. A good delivery. He was coming onto the front foot, beaten, taken behind, but the keeper, the appeal went up. But umpire Prasad is not interested. Good delivery. As Zeta James will try once more from the far end. Onto the front foot, outer portion of the bat, down toward the short third man area. Afi Fletcher moved across to her left, had the return in, but the batter's crossed for a single. So another run to the total. Pascal is off the mark. 59 for 2 wickets. And Jinaba has come into strike. Weighing over number 20, just one delivery remaining in the 28th over. Projected score is only 149 around the wicket. Flatter faster. And Joseph onto the back foot to bring up the end of the 20th over. 59 for 2 the Red Force.
Yes, and the Windward Islands are very heavily dependent on a spin attack here. We have seen 3 spinners now have been used by the Windward Islands, but we can tell those of you who just joining us here at the Connery Cricket Centre with the news is that Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, after winning the toss, 59 for 2. 2 wickets they have lost so far. They're up against the Windward Islands here at the Connery Cricket Centre. There are other matches at the St. Paul's Recreation Ground where the Leeward Islands is up against Guyana. And at Warner Park, Jamaica up against Barbados. So it's all action here, 2024, but it's the women's side of things, and it's Joseph.
So Kenel Joseph will continue from the media center end. Will chance of there's some hesitation from the 2 batters. The ball was played down towards the back of the point area. I thought it could have been a single.
Yeah.
And Jinaba Joseph was holding her ground, and Pascal was looking for the single. Then there was a misfield, and they still couldn't get the single. And all is well, though, as Joseph will continue outside the off stump, and Pascal pushed it down into the offside. So a bit of a hesitation. The hesitation previously caused the downfall of Ramnat Wicket, and they wouldn't want to have a second run out at this point. As Keanu Joseph around the wicket, Pascal is easily into the offside. Now they're thinking of a single as the ball went straight down to the fielder Zeta James, and there's some waving of the hands out there as if to indicate where the communication is certainly not going well between these two. Now Joseph will go over the wicket, and she'll be bowling to Shanice Pascal, who is on one. She has faced some 5 deliveries. Flatter faster, looking to play it square of the wicket, misses. Taken behind by the keeper Fontaine. 59 for 2. Red Force after winning the toss and batting here at Connery, being over number 21. Pascal is playing it down to the offside, down to Jamila Glasgow. She kept it in front of her and prevents any possibility of a run. So a tight over so far. No runs have been scored. 5 deliveries have been delivered. As Joseph bowler flighted the delivery, and Pascal just pushed it down to the offside to bring up the end of over number 21. 59 for 2, the Red Force Divas.
Yes, and really Joseph flighting the deliverers and not afraid to give it the flight, and the batter's not prepared to take on the challenge. I think that when a batter would have equal time to wait on deliveries from spinners, they will have the same equal time to take a chip or two, but that will take confidence in terms of getting to the pitch and trying to look for a boundary. But I guess that will improve over time.
So Zeta James will continue from the far end, as it will be Janaba Joseph facing up to Zeta James. Caught at slip. A delivery spinning away outside the off stump. The edge found. Janaba Joseph has been dismissed, and the Red Force losing a 3rd wicket with a score on 59. Joseph caught. Keanu Joseph has slipped off the bowling of James for 9.
Yes, and a good wicket again by the Windward Islands going down. And the Windward Islands, we can see so far, their spinners have held their own much better than the seam bowlers so far, and the results have gone the spinners' way. While at the same time, too, on the other hand, obviously, Trinidad and Tobago, by reputation, who usually produces very good spinners, and no doubt in the women format, too, they will have 1 or 2 good spinners, no doubt, in their lineup, too. But in batting against this Windward Island spinner, Taki, at the Connery Cricket Centre, it's going to really pose some challenges, as the challenges are obvious now that the players are not reading the spinners well, and we can see that all the spinners, Gary Pemberton, so far has been getting something out of the track, whether it's the right arm wrist spinner or the left arm orthodox spinners.
So the new batter for the Red Force, Brittany Cooper, and Cooper will want to play a long innings. So Pascal is there. She's a non-striker. Cooper has replaced Janaba Joseph, who was just out in this over, caught at slip by Keanu Joseph of the bowling of James. So 59 for 3. The second wicket went down with the scores on 57. So the Windwards have pulled things back quite nicely after the break. They have picked up 2 wickets. The addition of 11 runs since the first water break. Brittany Cooper will be facing up to Zeta James, who is bowling from the far end. And he gets a delivery, beats the keeper down towards the boundary, and it will cross the ropes just about now for 4 byes. Spun it outside the off stump. The batter shoulders arms, or the keeper was deceived, and she allowed it to go through. For 4 byes have been signaled. So with those 4 runs, the total has gone on to 63 for 3, the Red Force.
Well, and looking at the extras in the 4 wides now, and the keeper not really gathering the ball, but at least if she had her body behind it, really also too, it wouldn't have gone that far and earned themselves 4 more runs, Trinidad and Tobago, by extras. But anyway, 1 more runs to the total for Trinidad and Tobago.
Zeta James will continue from the far end. Cooper looking to force into the offside to a flatter, faster delivery. Taken by the keeper. The Cooper, we all know her capabilities. She's a good cricketer. She will want to come good for the Red Force in this inning. She watches it go through to be taken behind by Fontaine, the keeper. So Zeta James has picked up 1 wicket, 1 for 2 in her second over. It's a good change by Fletcher to bring on Zeta James from that far end. She has gotten the wicket into the offside, thinking about a single. Return comes to the keeper's end and backed up in the offside, and the single has been completed. So 1 more to the total, 64 for 3.
Well, and looking at it on the monitor, it looked like if it had struck the stumps there, that it might have been very close. But that was not to be in the end. It was a wider throw, but it would have been very interesting if it had hit the stumps, but it was not to be. But the spinners are doing well here for the Windward Islands, and having 2 relatively new batsmen at the crease, that also is a big difference.
Zeta James to Cooper to bring up the end of over number 22, 64 for 3, the Red Force Divas.
Yes, because Cooper is just on 1, and Pascal is also on 1. So these 2 new batters at the crease. The Windward Islands attack now obviously will be trying to keep things tight, especially within the 30-yard circle. And the spinners, all the spinners for the Windward Islands so far has been, if they are not being successful, they have been economical and they've been good so far, and no doubt they would like to keep that trend and restrict Trinidad and Tobago to a relatively total that they think that they could compete against when they get their chance to bat. But they will have to bowl out Trinidad and Tobago. But from a Trinidad and Tobago point of view, though, it is obvious they really need a partnership between these 2.
So Kiana Joseph will continue from this immediate center end. There's a slip, there's a point, cover, extra cover, and a mid-off over the wicket. Pascal is in behind it, just pushed it back down on in the offside. So Crafton at mid-off, he feels as Cooper is driving, as Cooper is a striker into the offside. Pascal is the non-striker. Pascal is on a 1. She has faced 10 deliveries. Cooper is on 1, facing our 8 delivery onto the front foot. So Kiana Joseph keeping things tight. She's in the 5th over, just the 1 run, and she has already picked up a wicket. So the spinner is certainly keeping things tight here for the Windward Islands, as Joseph over the wicket, flatter fast outside the off stump, now taken cleanly by the keeper, as Cooper looking to play a square of the wicket on the offside. So Joseph is bowling over the wicket from this immediate center end. Projected score is 141. Joseph to Cooper, flighted. Cooper is not going to be tempted, just pushed it back on the strip on the onside. So we are coming to the end of over number 23. 1 delivery remaining. They are 64 for 3, scoring at 2.80 runs per over. Joseph is in the middle of a very tight over. 5 deliveries have been delivered, no runs have been scored. Over the wicket, flighted to bring up the end of the over. Another maiden over there to Joseph, 64 for 3, the Red Force Divas.
Yes, good bowling there by Joseph, good bowling by the spinners in combination for the Windward Islands, and they are actually accelerating the over rate so far, getting through the overs obviously much more quicker because it's spinners in operation, and spinners would usually get through overs quicker than seam bowlers or fast medium pacers or fast bowlers because of the runs and extent. But the spinners are doing a good job here for the Windward Islands, and they would hope that they can even make further inroads. Well, 2 relatively new batsmen at the crease, so they will have to establish a partnership for going forward.
Zeta James will continue from the far end, flight the delivery, struck on the full by Pascal back on the strip, and no runs. 64 for 3, 2.78 is the current run rate. As you see, James from the far end, faster, shorter delivery as well. And all that Pascal could do was just to push it down into the offside. And there is no run. Looks like Crofton at cover. James around the wicket. And is guiding it into the offside down towards the back of the point area. After Fletcher has some running to do. And they have enough time to come back for 2 runs. The delivery outside the off stump and just guided nicely by Pascal down towards back of the point for 2 runs.
Yes, and the urgency of taking the first one quickly, that why the second run was always easier to be had, and so they did so comfortably. Well, these two batters have a job on hand.
So James once more to Pascal outside the off stump. And she pushed it down into the offside. So the score has gone on to 66 for 3. There James is bowling from the far end. Looking to play it fine, misses, taken behind by the keeper. So there James has been tight as well.
Yeah, very good bowling.
Previous to this, 2 overs, 1 for 3. And she's bowling to Pascal. Pascal is pushing it down to the offside. And over has been completed. So over number 24 has been completed. It is 66 for 3 wickets, the Red Force.
So Gary, in times now, these two will definitely have to try and establish a partnership. So at the present moment, I would say that's in the balance so far. I don't think any of the teams would have had an advantage at this particular time. Would you have a different view, Gary, towards the position of the both teams right now?
Well, the Windward Islands would be happy with the way things have gone since the water break. They've been able to pick up wickets and they've been able to keep the scoring rate down. So
That is so true, yeah, that's true.
So 66 for 3 after 24. Joseph, that's Kiana Joseph, into the offside. And there is no chance of a run. So it's 66.
But Gary, there's a concern to me though, that I see that a lot of batters have time to wait to play defensive. Don't they have the same time to try and take a stride down?
So driving, good bit of feeling by the captain, Afi Fletcher. And just going down to a right at slip and prevented any possibility of a run. Kenneth Joseph will continue. Flighted and guiding to the offside. Comes off the right hand of Fletcher, but the feeling is completed by Zeta James coming in from backward point, and there is no chance of a run. So in over number 25 at the halfway stage in terms of the overs. And they have only scored 66 outside the off stump, punched it into the offside, knocked down by Noel at extra cover and prevented any possibility of a run. The fielding completed by the bowler Kiana Joseph, who is in our 6th over, 1 for 3. Goes over the wicket onto the back foot, looking to slap it into the offside as Brittany Cooper misses, taken behind by the keeper. So just one delivery remaining in this over by Joseph. She has been keeping things very tight as the previous over was a maiden. And she's one delivery away from delivering another maiden over here. Bowling from this immediate centre end. Flatter, faster delivery, punch into the offside. We get a single. That's Brittany Cooper. She went through quickly for the first run. The return came in, so one more to the total to bring up the end over number 25, 67 for 3 at the halfway stage, Victor.
Yeah, and that was a very good move by the two batters because they are new at the crease and they have to look for every available run, and they were running the first one quickly. But we can obviously see to Gary Pemberton that the spinners and all the spinners are exploiting what is in the surface. We can see they're getting good spin and bunks. So they would have to try and get Trinidad and Tobago out onto a total that they would think that they have an opportunity to overhaul, because obviously Trinidad and Tobago by reputation always produce good spinners, whether spin bowlers, whether it's male or female.
James was delivery was short, and Brittany Cooper was onto the back foot looking to swing it into the onside, didn't time it. Just got it down to the straightest mid wicket area, and there is no chance of a run. So Zeta James will continue from the far end onto the back foot into the offside. It goes so quickly for a single return, comes in a bit wide, and Pascal is home eventually. But Pascal was not hustling to for the single, but the return was wide, and they got the run in the end. So 68 for 3 wickets in over number 26.
Yeah, and it was also high too. And if it was more direct, that again too would have caused interest, but that was not to be. Zeta James is going to continue looking to get more wickets for the Windwards.
In over number 26, into the offside between point and cover. Is going down towards the boundary. It will cross the ropes just about now for 4 runs. A delivery outside the off stump, and he played it deliberate. That's a deliberate shot by Cooper to the right of a backward point. That's Fletcher, and to the left of cover down towards the boundary for 4. And with that boundary, the total has gone on to 72. As you see, aircraft leaving the RLB International Airport, Victor.
Yes, indeed, and moving out and flying nicely. But the emphasis of that stroke there was more basically on timing and not power, and earned herself, well, 4 deserving runs at this particular moment of this encounter.
To Pascal into the offside, going too quickly for a single. Fletcher comes in, send the return down towards the far end, stumps are broken, and she is given out. Brilliant bit of feeling by Fletcher. She came around quickly, had a shot at the far end. The stumps are broken, and Pascal has been found wanting.
Yes, and what an example. The captain, Afi Fletcher, leading by example, picking up nicely and sharply, throwing the ball to the striker's end, which would have been, and hitting the stump out of the ground. And really, we can see now that the Windward Islands team, they are in a huddle. They know what it's like to have gotten another wicket. 4 wickets going down now for Trinidad and Tobago. They are now 72 for 4. And really, after winning the toss here at the Connery Cricket Centre, it's the Women 2024 series right here at the Connery Cricket Centre. There are other matches playing at the St. Paul's Recreation Ground and at Warner Park. And coming close to the luncheon interval, we will give our listeners an update as to what is transpiring at the other matches. But here at the Connery Cricket Centre, Gary Pemberton, quite an interesting moment. And right now, it is safe to say that the Windward Islands have the better part of the morning's play so far.
We have seen that the communication between the batters have not been good. They have now had 2 run-outs, and there could have been another run-out previously. But the communication certainly has not been good between the batters for the Red Force team. They have lost 2 wickets via the run-out route. Zeta James will continue from the far end, and he pushed down into the offside. It's a good bit of feeling by the captain. I feel Fletcher came in quickly and had the presence of mind to send it down towards the far end. Pascal was short of the ground, and Cooper will have a lot of work to do. Punches it back down this trip to bring up the end of a successful over for the Windwards. At the end of it, the Red Force 72 for 4.
Well, and going forward too, as you quite rightly observed there, Gary Pemberton, the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, there will be lots of concerns around their communication, the batters' communication at the crease. And obviously they will have to, from here on in, as the innings goes on, to really improve in that area, because as you quite rightly said, there could have been more incidents of runouts if the throws were more accurate, but that was not to be. But thus far, the Windward Islands have the better part of this encounter so far, after Trinidad and Tobago right here at the Connery Cricket Centre winning the toss and electing to bat, and they are presently 72 for 4. And the spinners, we can see, Gary, all the spinners, they are really getting something out of the track. So there is no doubt that will be an motivator for the Trinidad spinners too, but they will have to bat and try to get past the 100 first of all, and then whatsoever after his bonus.
So Captain Fletcher continued to bring the changes. He has now taken Kiana Joseph out of the attack, and she has now brought herself back into the attack from the media center end. And she'll be bowling to O'Neill. O'Neill getting a flighted delivery. Push it down into the offside, so the Windward Islands will be very, very satisfied with the way things have gone. They have kept things tight and they picked up 4 wickets. And Fletcher, right arm leg spin, wrist spin, over the wicket, flighted, outside the off stump, spinning away, the batsman pushing at it, taken behind by the keeper. So Silly, the left-handed batter from TNT, would be under a bit of pressure as the Red Force have lost 4 wickets. I mean, over number 27. So Fletcher over the wicket, opposed to O'Neill onto the backward drive in through the covers. It is going down towards the deep extra cover area. They have crossed for 2. They're thinking about the 3rd. And the return is coming in, goes down towards the bowler's end, and they came back quickly enough for the 3rd run. I thought they ran the 2nd one a bit slowly, but they're able to get the 3rd one eventually. 3 more to the total. It has gone on to 78 for 4, the Red Force.
Yeah, and they have to look more purposeful in their running. You're quite rightly there. They ran the 2nd one slowly, but in the end they were true for the 3rd run, and in the end they got it comfortable. But what the option that spinners have right now, too, with relatively 2 new batters at the crease, they can try more options, they can try more things in their variety, because the batters have not settled themselves in as yet. So the umpires, they are having a conversation. We cannot be too certain what it might be about, but anyway, all things seem to be all right. But as the 2 new batters at the crease, and Afi Fletcher recognizing it as she is the captain and a very experienced bowler, brought herself into the attack from this to media end. So she have rung the changes quite nicely also too for the Windward Islands. Fletcher.
Fletcher will continue in breezy conditions here at Warner Park. The flags fluttering in the breeze, also the clothing at Connery, Surrey. And it's coming forward. That's Brittany Cooper. And pushed it down into the offside. So Fletcher is in a 3rd over. And picked up none for 8 so far. Goes over the wicket to Cooper. Cooper is guiding into the offside. Tumbling effort by Kenneth Joseph as the return comes down towards the far end. They get a single in the end. Fielding completed by Zeta James. So with that single, total has gone on to 77. 77 for 4 wickets.
But there was hesitation on the part of both batters again too, so the communication, and no doubt the coach would be very observant of that facet of their play, running between the wickets and the communications. From here on in, that has to definitely have to be improved, and they cannot carry this sort of communication throughout this tournament, because it can be so detrimental to their team.
So it's 76 for 4, Fletcher over the wicket. And in the air, taken up by the keeper. Bobby off the thigh pad. Over has been completed. Over number 27. Completed 76 for 4, the Red Force.
Well, and that final delivery there, that was bowled by the captain, Afi Fletcher, the right-arm wrist spin and leg break googly bowler. She got some very good bunks out of the surface. But the left-arm orthodox spinners, both Joseph also, the left-arm orthodox spinner, she got good spin and bounce out of the surface also too. So a balanced nature of pitch here for this encounter between the Windward Islands and Trinidad and Tobago after winning the toss.
So Zeta James will continue and she'll be bowling to Brittany Cooper. Cooper is pushed into the offside. The bowler Zeta James came across in front of extra cover and she fields. Total remains on 76 in over number 28. So Windward's doing well, and it's swept into the onside down towards the back of the square area. 1 more to the total. It has gone on to 77 for 4 wickets in over number 28. Zeta James is bowling a 5th over from the far end, and for the left-handed O'Neill, there is the fielder has been brought inside the circle. So there's a point, a cover, extra cover, and the mid-off. On the onside, we have a forward square on the fence, short backward square, mid-wicket, and a mid-on. So Zeta James will be bowling to the left-handed O'Neill, who is on 3. She has faced some 4 deliveries. And he's turning it around the corner. Will get at least a single. They're thinking about the second. She's going to come back for it. The return is a bit weak. And they were able to get 2 runs quite comfortably in the end. 79 for 4 wickets, the Red Force.
Well, they're looking more purposeful in the wicket now, and quite rightly so, looking for every available run and running the run, the first one quickly, and looking to keep the scoreboard ticking over.
She will go over the wicket to the left-handed O'Neill outside the off-stump, looking to flash it into the offside. Taken by the keeper. So much faster delivery there from Zeta James. Is bowling a 5th over from the far end. Projected score 144 at the current run rate. Over the wicket. Into the onside. Goes so quickly for the single. The return comes in a bit slow by fielder. They look like Tracy Byron. She has been a bit slow in the field. And they were able to come to for another single. 80 for 4. So maybe it look like Maya Marcelin is the fielder who is now at backward square. And Cooper is driving, goes too quickly for the single. Not fielded cleanly at mid-off, so they get a single in the end to bring up the end of the over. And total at the 81 it is.
Well, Cooper
81 for 4 at the end of the over.
Cooper was going good in terms of making the call just now that she would have been to the danger end, and in the end they got the single off the final delivery. But the spinners are getting through the overs quite quickly since they have been introduced into the attack by the Windward Islands. Trinidad and Tobago won the toss. They are now presently 81 for the loss of 4 wickets. And the captain, Affy Fletcher, is going to continue from this the media centre end.
So on the right, the field on the right of us is a football field. That's where the youngsters do the training on the weekend. And we're here on the cricket field. Red Force versus the Windward Islands. Red Force winning the toss this morning and batting. They've lost 4 wickets. We're in at the start of over number 29. Fletcher bowling a flighted delivery. He's driven from the inner portion of the bat down to mid-wicket.
Well, that was the googly too on that occasion. So, Fletcher mixing up her deliveries.
It goes over the wicket. Flatter, faster. And Cooper is in behind it. Pushed it down into the mid-on area. There is no chance of a run. So Malika Edwards, she is at straightish mid-wicket as Fletcher over the wicket into the offside, thinking about the single. Cooper is O'Neill is coming down the pitch. He was sent back by Cooper as Zeta James came in quickly. 81 for 4 in over number 29. Projected score is only 142 over the wicket. Was a flighted delivery, and it's pushing into the offside. This one looked like it was a googly Victor again, but it was read by Cooper and just played it down into the offside. That one came back in towards the right-handed Brittany Cooper.
Yeah, it was another good googly there. So she's mixing up her delivery as well. Gary Fletcher, that is the captain, but asking a fielder now who was at mid-on to go right back on the long-on boundary.
So Cooper faces up to Fletcher outside the off-stump, thinking about playing skew of the wicket. Missed it, taken behind by the keeper. Another delivery remaining in over number 29. The Red Force, after the winning the toss and batting, they're 81 for 4. We've seen 2 batters being dismissed via the run-out route. Sao made 10. And is driven on the full down to long on by Cooper for an easy single. Thinking about the second they're going to come back for it, because a misfield by Etienne down on the boundary allowed the batters to come back for 2 to bring up the end of over number 29. It is 83 for 4. the Red Force.
Yes, and one or two bad lapses by the Windward Islands in the field, but because wickets are going down, it even placed them in a more reasonable position. And no doubt the coach for Trinidad and Tobago will be instructing the batters to go in, that when they're going to face and Fletcher, Avi Fletcher, the captain, the right arm wrist spinner, that usually, Gary, when the left shoulder of the right arm wrist spinner goes lower, that means, and the right arm come closer to the releasing, to the bowling air, releasing it, then that is the googly. So no doubt the coaches would tell their batters that expectation.
Drive in down to mid-off, that goes for a single. And the return came in not quickly, and only gets a single. Was driving, left the bat in the air, but dropping well short of the fielder at mid-off. So it's with that single, total has gone on to 84 for 4 at the start of over number 30. Zeta James is bowling a 6th over from the far end around the wicket to Cooper. Cooper is looking to sweep, misses. A loud appeal by the wicket keeper Fontaine, and she went all the way down the pitch to appeal to Prasad, who is on move. Obviously came off the thigh pad because there is no signal of wide coming from umpire Prasad, but the keeper thought that he had a glove on it. So
Probably just looking for that wicket before the luncheon interval. Probably.
around the wicket goes to Cooper onto the back foot. Cooper is the captain. She would want to play a captain's innings. You have some 20 overs remaining after this. We're in over number 30. 3 balls remaining in over number 30. Captain Cooper is on 8 from 33. Faces up and she's playing it down into the offside. A strange looking shot, but she got it down to short third man.